This recipe is surprisingly so easy to make. It's a real showstopper. Welcome back. I'm Jill at thecarefreekitchen.com, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my grandma's famous pumpkin roll. And this pumpkin roll is soft and tender pumpkin cake filled with a silky, smooth cream cheese frosting. It's an easy, beautiful, and delicious fall dessert. And it's perfect to serve for Thanksgiving, Christmas, or any time in between. Okay, so let's get started on this pumpkin roll recipe. For the ingredients, we have some flour, baking powder, salt. This is some pumpkin pie spice, but if you don't have that, you can use cinnamon, ginger, allspice, and nutmeg. I have some pumpkin pie. I'm going to use a little bit of lemon juice, and then eggs and some sugar. And I will be needing some confectioner sugar or powdered sugar, and I will show you where to use that. Okay, so for the dry ingredients, I just have a bowl here with a strainer on top. I'm going to add 1 cup of flour, and then I have my pumpkin pie spice, and then also I have salt and baking powder. Make sure we get all of that. And then we're just using a sifter. This is a really fine cake. It's really thin on the bottom of the pan, and we don't want any chunks because even with our modern flour, sometimes we have little bits there. So just use a spoon to kind of break that up. Into a bowl, I'm going to add 3 eggs, and I'm going to use a hand mixer because we want to increase the volume of the eggs by about double. We want them to be really light and airy. Okay, so after you have beat them for a couple minutes, I'm going to add 1 cup of sugar, and I'm also going to add in 1 cup of pumpkin. And you can just use the canned pumpkin, that works great. Just be sure that it's not the pumpkin pie filling, you want just the straight pumpkin puree. Okay, and then to that I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and just about a teaspoon of lemon juice. And then we'll just mix this in too. And then to that, I'm just going to add in my dry ingredients. We'll just use the mixer to get it all smooth again. And be sure you use spatula here and scoop down all the sides there. All right, that looks great. Okay, you're going to want to start your oven, preheating on 350 degrees. Okay, so to prepare my baking sheet, I just have a 9 by 15 baking sheet here. And I'm going to put in a piece of parchment. To make sure the edges don't stick, I'm just going to spray them lightly with some non-stick cooking spray. Okay, and now to get going, I'm just gonna add in my cake filling here. We wanna be sure and get all of this on the pan. So just use a spatula here. To get it really smooth, I'm just using a little offset spatula here, but you could probably take a little bit more time with a regular spatula and get it good enough. It's just this nice little thin layer. Okay, and now we're going to bake this in a preheated 350 degree oven for 13 to 15 minutes, or until the edges are just slightly golden brown. Okay, so while the pumpkin cake is cooking, I'm going to show you how to make the filling. Okay, so I have 2 tablespoons of room temperature butter, and then also 8 ounces of cream cheese. And I'm going to use an electric mixer again and beat it until it is really light and fluffy. Okay, and then to this mixture, I'm going to add in a teaspoon of vanilla and mix it again. Okay, and now I have some powdered sugar or some confectioner sugar, and I'm going to add in 2 cups of that. This recipe calls for quite a bit of powdered sugar, and I like the filling in there to be pretty equal to the cake layer, so we're making a lot of filling for our cake roll. Okay, and now I'm going to add about a 1/2 cup more. So that's a total of 2.5 cups of powdered sugar. And now I'm going to show you how to prepare your towel for the cake. so that the cake does not stick to our towel. So just going to put probably about 1/4 cup of powdered sugar here. Here we go. Okay, so my pumpkin roll is out of the oven, and you can see here along the edges, it's coming away just really slightly. So that's when you can tell it's done. Also in the middle, it will be like a little bit spongy, if you can see that. So take it out of the oven and then just let it sit for about 5 minutes before you flip it. Okay, so my cake has had a chance to cool here for a minute. And so now to flip it, I'm just going to rest the edge there on the edge of my powdered sugar, and then we'll just flop it over. There we go. And then you'll just get the corner edge there of your parchment paper and tear this off. And it's okay there. We do have a little bit of a ridge on the middle, but this will be the inside that has the frosting on it. So you won't even be able to tell if there's some wrinkles in there. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to fold this over. And so you can roll it a couple ways. You can roll it this way, and so you have this nice long piece of this nice long cake, or you can roll it from the short end, and then you have bigger pieces of pumpkin roll. And if we're gonna have a big party and there's like lots of different treats, then I'll probably do it, you know, like this. So we have smaller rolls of pumpkin, do it this way. But if it's the main course or the main dessert course, then I will do it the big way. And what we're going to do, you want to still work with it when it's just a little bit warm here, and just curl the edges of your pumpkin roll up and just lightly, gently roll it. And this is going to keep your pumpkin roll really moist and let it cool in that rolled up position. So there we go. Now you can just set this on your counter and let it cool, or you can pop it into the fridge if you want. I'm just gonna let it cool to room temperature right here, and then maybe I'll pop it in the fridge for the rest of the cooling process. Okay, so our pumpkin roll has had about an hour to cool. It's just got that nice little curve to it, so be really gentle as you unroll it here close to the edge. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my cream cheese frosting on there, and you're just going to add all of this cream cheese frosting. And then again, I'm going to use an offset spatula and just push it to the edges of the pumpkin roll and try to get a nice, smooth, even layer. And now the part that was the smallest in the roll, you're going to just roll that up and just gently pull it away from that towel. There we go. Ta-da. Okay. And now it's going to lay some saran wrap down, and then we'll just transfer this to the saran wrap. Then you can just throw that into the wash. That's easy. And roll this up. Okay, and now this is the fun part. You get to just put this in the freezer, and you can freeze this. I actually like to do like a double layer of saran wrap just to keep it all intact. It kind of helps it to stay rolled up. There we go. And to make sure it doesn't have a freezer burn on it. So at this point, you can keep this in the freezer for a few weeks and then just pull it out, and then you'll slice it after it's had a chance to thaw. Or you can just chill it in your fridge for about an hour so that the frosting will kind of set up and it'll be ready to eat. Okay, here is my pumpkin roll. It's all cooled and ready to go. And then to finish it off, what I like to do is I have some powdered sugar here. I'll just put it here in a little sifter. And then give it a little sprinkle. And then to cut it, you're going to want to use a nice sharp knife, and I like to use one with just a little bit of serration on it. Let's see if we can get this. There we go. Ta-da. There we go. Look how pretty that is. Okay, and then one thing that does help as you're cutting this is you can use just like a wet rag and kind of wipe it off between cuts and keep the edges of the pumpkin cake really nice and clean there. Okay, now for a taste test. This looks so amazing. That pumpkin cake is so moist. It has so much flavor with all that pumpkin pie spice. And the cream cheese frosting is so light and fluffy. It's a perfect combination. I hope you enjoy this recipe at your next family party or Thanksgiving feast or holiday gathering. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow me here. And I will show you all kinds of fun and easy recipes that your family will love. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.